Hello everyone. I'm going to tap on and show you some books that I bought on Vinted. This is kind of the part two to my previous video where I showed you some books that I was given by my friend. So I've kind of had a lot of new books lately, as I'd already ordered these before she gave them to me. This is obviously the first book that I have to show you tonight, The Darkest Part of the Forest. Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. I previously read a couple of her other books when I was younger. The Coldest Girl in Cold Town and The Spiderwick Chronicles. More recently I have read her The Folk of the Air series, The Coolest Prince trilogy, along with the Stolen Air duology, and I've also read How the King of Elfame Gained 8 Bedtime Stories, or something along those lines I think it's called. So I was quite interested to try one of her older books, and this one just seemed quite fun, The Darkest Part of the Forest. It says fairies, knights, princes, true love. You think you know how the story goes, but think again. It's just black on the cover. I think I got this on Vinted for about £2 plus shipping. I'm not going to tell you any of the sellers, just for their privacy and mine. So I'm really excited to read this one. The next book I got was from the same seller as this one, and it's a big chunky one. It's Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I don't know anything about this book really, but she had it in her vintage page, so I just added it to the bundle kind of on a whim, but it sounds really good. Swordcatcher. It's apparently got a review by said it's everything he looks for in a fantasy. It does have a little rip on the bottom here, but again I think she was selling this one for £2 as well. Book one. Again, it is just back there. Has a slightly cool spine. Inside it has a map. I've just saw that someone in this is called a cow, and I'm currently reading A Darker Shade of Magic, and the character in that is called a cow. I always hate it when too many characters have the same name because I start to think of the other person. That seller also very kindly gave me a little bundle of goodies in the package. They never have to do that, and so it's always very fun, and I'm always very grateful when they do. It's so cute. A little mushroom sticker. This little book and teacup sticker. I really like this one. A little moth. And another little moth or butterfly. I'm not sure if that's a moth or a butterfly. A little potion. And then 3 bookmarks. Kind of got a bit of a green theme going on there with my nails. And then 2 of these book tracking marks. Sorry if you can hear some banging coming from upstairs. My son is meant to be in bed. However, it sounds like he isn't. I think my niece will really like this one, so I might give this one to her. she loves books too. And bunnies. Now the next two books. The next two I actually ordered for my boyfriend. He asked me to have a look and see if they were on there. And the first one he asked for was holes. Got a yellow spotted lizard there. So I have always loved holes. When I was younger, I was fully obsessed with the film, and I used to listen to the audiobook to go to sleep. And my boyfriend used to watch Holes with me when he would come and visit, or just if we were chilling on the weekends back in the old days when we used to have to watch DVDs. We'd always watch Holes because it was one of my favourites. But he said recently that he'd never read the book because most people read it in school in England, but he actually had to read a different book in school. So he asked me just to see if it was on Vinted, and I managed to find it. I think I got it for about £1. I don't know why he just randomly decided he wanted to read it. I must say, I personally have never actually read the physical book either. Like I said, I've listened to it on Audible hundreds of times probably, and watched the film just as many, if not more. So who knows, maybe I'll give this one a read too. And the second book he asked me to get for him was this one here by Stephen King, Fairy Tale, Fairydale. I actually can't see what I'm tracing, so hopefully that was kind of close. This book was apparently unread by the seller. Sorry. So the spine is unused. So I don't want to open it too much, just in case my boyfriend sometimes he likes the spines to be left normal and unused looking, but sometimes he doesn't mind. So seeing as it's for him, I don't want to open it too much. Again, he said that he's never read any of Stephen King's books, but I know one of his friends reads a lot of them, and I think he talks to them. I think they talk about them, but he's not overly keen on horror. So his friend recommended this one. He said it's got a touch of the good Stephen King-ness that you want, but without being just a full horror or thriller. I don't really know because I don't know anything about it. It says that it's about a high school kid who's great at baseball and football, I guess he gets to know him because it says that he leaves him his house when he dies. And he also leaves him a cassette tape telling him a crazy story about how there is a portal to another world in his locked shed. It sounds quite cool. I actually quite like the cover. The colours are really pretty. Now the next books and the last books are a trilogy that I bought off of there. It is Shadow and Bone, Siege the Storm, and Ruin and Rising. I already own Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, but at the time I didn't realise that these three came before it. I believe you don't have to read these three first. You can just go straight into Six of Crows. But I was told that reading these first is more fun because characters from this apparently show up in the others. And I think I picked these up on there for £5 plus postage. This one does have a crease going down the cover. But I'm not worried about that. So the first one is definitely Shadow and Bone, but let me see which one comes next. Siege the Storm. Then next, Siege the Storm. And I'm not going to look at the back because I hate getting spoilers from the blurbs. These look quite small so hopefully they won't take too long to read. I'm not the fastest reader. About 380 pages in this one. And then finally, obviously, is the third of that one, Ruin and Rising. Ruin and Rising with the phoenix on the front there, I see. So thank you for watching my little book haul video. And like I said, this was kind of part 2 of my